Just two lads. Sorry.
Go on. It's okay.
Shocking. Unbelievable. Red card. What football?
Woo! Welcome to What the Football, episode number 1. We waited a long time, but here we are, alive. I'm Wojtek, and my co-host is...
Peter. So welcome everybody. We waited nearly a year, right, to launch the first episode, and it's still not ready, so yeah.
Even without our existence, we have almost the first year anniversary now, but we are there. We are kicking it in, and we have some topics for you for today. What are we, Peter? What is the podcast?
So basically every single podcast is split into 3 parts, right? The warm-up, which is like a questionnaire between us.
A little game, you're gonna see.
Yeah, non-sexual. The second part is 90 minutes.
We're gonna have a big main topic on every episode. We're gonna discuss deeply.
Yeah, and the third one is kind of a cultural part. So either we're gonna discuss a book, football-related book, or a film, or some music. Whatever comes to our mind.
It's gonna be Le Culture. Anything else? No, that's good for the start. Welcome. I hope you're gonna listen to us, and here we go.
Warm up.
We are starting the program with warm up, our football trivia game. I'm gonna be today's questioner. Peter on the other end of the table, he's the victim, and he will need to address my 4 hints and find the team I'm talking about. Welcome, Peter.
Welcome, everyone. Let's see. I'm very curious.
Are you ready? Do you feel ready?
More than ever.
Did you train push-ups?
I did, yeah. Very excited about the first ever quiz game.
Very happy to hear that. Let's start directly. My first hint to you will be about a very, very old game in 1928. The club I'm talking about was, along with Arsenal, the first club who played with numbered shirts.
Wow.
Against Swansea City.
Yeah.
They are famous for that. So Arsenal and Club XXX did the breakthrough in the history of football. Do you know which club I mean?
No, but I can think of Arsenal and Swansea in Britain. Okay. I don't know the club, but like how curious it is that they didn't play with numbers on the back before that. I mean, how could not the fans, because probably they knew the players by the face, but I mean the referee. He had to have some system to remember the players.
What was the system to remember the players on? Long hair, short hair?
I have no idea.
Small guy, big guy?
Back then, I mean, that was more like a gentleman's football, no? Like nearly 100 years ago, like everybody would like...
Definitely.
Yeah.
But still, I cannot imagine how the referee was giving penalties, sending players out of the field.
Yeah.
Had to be interesting. I mean, maybe he had some kind of like a little help, like... Would be interesting to see the notes of the referee from those days. Like, the little fella was very, very bad playing. I had to send him off.
And let's pretend for a second that we know that there were not yellow cards back then. Which we actually find out like 2 minutes ago. That
we're going to come back to this topic, definitely. We're going to talk about it more.
Yeah.
We have been wondering how it was working back in the day, but it turned out the red cards have been introduced much, much later.
Yeah, so actually the referee didn't have to keep record of the players, only the goal scorers.
He could still send off players.
Oh, yeah.
For nasty behavior.
Yeah.
I guess back in the day it didn't happen so often. Not every intervention was directly causing a broke leg. Not like today's. Okay, back to the topic. You know the club we're talking about?
I don't.
You could be a badass if you would guess the club after 1 hint directly.
I'm sure there is somebody who would know it like straight away, but it's not me. So let's hear
taking the next hint. Good. Hint number 2. Opposite of the stadium. Back in the day, there was a place called the Rising Sun Pub. Today, people know it under the name the Butcher's Hook. It's where the club was founded, back in 1905. So the owner decided, I need to create a club. He went there, ate a breakfast. I don't know what the price was of the breakfast back in the day. I can tell you today it's £10.50 for English breakfast, which includes spicy beans, sausage, scrambled egg, £10.50.
No bacon?
No bacon. Bacon
That's a shame.
Costs additionally, £2-3 additionally. Would you pay the price? You're a big bacon freak?
I mean, I could make an effort. Yeah, once in a while. Big fan of English breakfast. So
proper English breakfast.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I would risk it mostly Sundays before going to the church or like after a game. Yeah.
Good boy, good
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
So you would pay a little bit more than those 10, 50.
How much do you think? I mean, did they drink a lot before founding the club or after that? I mean,
I believe
were they
this-
sober or was it like a typical like British get together, get wasted and let's found a club?
I've heard theories that they try to make the game very early, so people don't have time actually to go to the pub
Wow,
and get wasted.
makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, it was a big problem in the English football stadiums in the 60s, 70s, no? That they got really, really wasted. There was, of course, it was banned also in some time, but 1920, 1905, I mean, I also see those fans as gentlemen, walking with an umbrella, nice lady on the other hand, like feeding a monkey, you know, like being good people, maybe
Okay.
drinking one
Yeah.
scotch.
Okay, you convinced me.
I should have checked the beer price in this place back in the day or today, not the breakfast price. Then you would know directly what club we're talking about. Hint number 2, ringing a bell,
No.
but you'll go for breakfast. So at least
Breakfast, yeah. You
Good.
convinced me. So
Good,
yeah.
good. The third hint maybe is gonna be a breakthrough point for you.
Mhm.
I'm gonna play you a song from a celebrity. I'm not giving his name. If you will know him, why not? Maybe it's gonna be
Okay.
easier for you to guess the celebrity
Mhm.
in the club. He wrote a song he called "We're Gonna Win."
Okay.
Surprisingly
Yeah.
positive title.
Didn't think much about the title.
No, I think maybe he wrote it like in the toilet quickly. Dedicated it for the club. It's played also before some of the games.
Okay.
The fans associated with the club. So I'm gonna play the song.
Don't wanna be a loser, gonna win. 'Cause winning really is the only thing. Get out of the way, we're coming in. You wanna fight, you step inside the ring. Does anybody wanna take a swing? It's gotta be all or nothing. Oh, we're gonna be the champions. Hey, we're going all the way, we're gonna win. We're gonna win. Forget about draw, we're gonna
How did you like the song?
Wasn't it Bryan Adams by any chance?
Peter, it's no surprise that you guessed the song.
Or should I be ashamed, like recognizing?
The collection of
Typical 90s
Backstreet
song.
Boys poster on your wall made me think that you might know the artist
Okay.
as well.
Well, Bryan Adams is like 2 step closer to my likings, but yeah.
He's like a faraway cousin from the Backstreet Boys.
Is he?
I don't know.
Okay.
I thought
Maybe the other way around or something.
On the other hand, would Backstreet Boys write a song also? They are from Orlando, right? Would they write a song for
I have no
Orlando
idea.
United?
Orlando. Oh, I mean, was there an Orlando United like 20 years ago? I mean, the MLS started 20 years ago, so
It's a
maybe
it's a
Orlando
big
Magic.
Could be.
more likely. Let's
So-
ask Arvin what he says about it.
We have some source which could actually give us a good response. Yeah, Dancing with the Stars could be the song, like Orlando Magic Blues. We're gonna investigate it and definitely
Okay.
come back to that. Anywhere getting closer a little,
Yeah,
little
closer,
bit?
closer.
Yeah,
I mean, I have
You're
only
getting
one
there?
hint to go, so need to.
Good.
Well, I'll wait for the 4th one.
You're gonna wait. And in the meantime, we're gonna change the tone on your mobile also for "We're Gonna Win." I can see the happiness
Yeah,
in
only
your
if you
eyes.
call me. That's gonna be your special ringtone.
It's gonna be our tone. Very good.
You never call me anyway, so that's fine.
Well, maybe now I will have a reason to call you. Let's go to the 4th hint before my wife is gonna call me to come back home. December 1999. There was a very famous game on the British fields where one of the sides entered with only foreign players. Only foreign starting
Yeah.
lineup.
Mhm.
You had a foreign trainer. They played against Southampton. I'm gonna make it a little bit easier for you that we're not talking about Southampton and Swansea and Arsenal in this
Arsenal.
competition.
Mhm.
Any clue? Who could it be?
Yeah,
You have
it's
it.
definitely Chelsea.
Very good,
Chelsea.
Peter.
They had a few Italian players, so I had a reason to follow them back then.
You have to know Peter is a big Italian fan. So
Yeah.
wherever in the world there's an Italian player playing, Peter knows the team.
I mean, come on, who doesn't know Zola, Di Matteo, Casiraghi, Vialli?
Everything without
yeah.
preparation. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
You deserve your reward. So let me hand over to you the reward for
Mhm.
guessing. We have to clear up one thing. The warm-up is supposed to give penalties or awards. In case one of us is getting the correct team, he's getting a reward. Otherwise, he's getting punished. Unfortunately, I cannot punish Peter at this stage. But sooner or later, I'm going to catch you.
Mm.
Let me pass the lovely English breakfast tea for you.
No way.
Here you go.
I just run out, so yeah.
I had a feeling. You can drink it with milk, with beer, however you like it. So you deserve it.
Okay, thank you.
You remember the result of the game, or like any player also back in the day?
No, not at all. Well, players, I named a few, and probably Letizier played for
Who
Southampton.
was the trainer? Who was the trainer of Chelsea back in the day?
Wasn't it Hullit?
I like to call him Gianluca
Vialli.
Nice.
They were, I think, changing each other somehow. But yeah, I was gonna say. And Letizier played for Southampton, for sure.
Chelsea
Club legend.
Oof. Damn, you're really deep. They won 2-1. Chelsea won 2-1. If somebody wants to remember, was it worth to play with foreign players?
Well, they won, so I guess, yeah.
Did something change? How is it today's lineup from Chelsea in the 21st century?
Well, they had Terry until 2 weeks ago.
Got rid of him.
Cahill is still there.
Yeah, on the verge of also leaving probably soon, but there are not many. I think it's a custom in Chelsea, no? They are keeping foreign players.
Somehow.
Maybe we should try. I mean, they don't have a Hungarian and a Polish. Maybe we should apply like some.
They're not going to have a Hungarian. Polish, more likely.
Not really. I mean, Terry was doing a lot of dirty stuff, so I think our CV could be also very good in that.
Yeah. Poor Wayne Bridge.
Okay.
Right? Like
The wife.
and Wayne Bridge.
Okay, let's finish for now. Let's apply. We're gonna come back to you if we are not taken to Chelsea. So thank you very much and congratulations, Peter.
Okay, thank you.
90 minutes.
Today's 90 minutes, talking about crime and football. We made a little research for today's program.
Yeah, it's a nasty, large, long list.
It's like the kitchen of McDonald's. I mean, once you enter there, you get really, really dirty. Biggest crime happening there was drunk driving, I think. I think I can associate now. 2-3 beers.
Yeah,
we could drive easily a car. I think we will be able to. We don't sound drunk or anything.
Yeah, I don't have a license, but so yeah, I could.
It doesn't mean. I mean, do you think they have? All of them has. Biggest example, Marco Reus. They call him Rolls Royce, I believe the nickname is, because they catch him after 2 or 3 years driving cars, and after 2 or 3 years they realize he doesn't have a freaking driving license.
And he looks 16, so that's the other suspicion.
Nobody stopped him. Maybe they stopped him, but he was giving autographs.
Okay.
Let's talk about the sentenced ones. So, first on the list, question to you, Peter. Tony Adams, catched drunk driving, sentenced as well for prison for drunk driving because they proved it for him. How many months prison can an Arsenal player get?
I don't know. Probably he had a good lawyer, so he managed to get some, let's say, discount. So I don't know, a couple of months, 7.
Happy ending with Euro League qualification for 4 months.
4 months. Oh,
4 months.
The magical number 4.
The magical. It always comes with association to Arsenal somehow back to us. But anyway, he got released after 57 days.
57 days. Okay,
it's not bad.
Imagine like a professional footballer getting out of his like usual life. I don't know, waking up, going to training, afternoon training again, then in the night going out. Spending 57 nights in prison. That's a big change.
That's many trainings. But if you are a big football fan and you're drinking yourself under the table with Tony Adams one night, and he's like, Peter, drink with me. You have to drink with me a good beer. It's on me. And he's paying for everything, and you're getting like wasted. And suddenly he's saying like, Peter, I'm gonna drop you home. Wouldn't you go in the car with him? I mean, don't you want to be like driven home by Tony Adams?
Tony Adams.
I mean, it's not John Terry who's gonna rape your wife. It's Tony Adams. It's like a gentleman who's gonna bring you home, deliver you home,
like a proper dude. Drinking.
You can have a talk about beer, I guess.
I mean, I don't think anybody was like mad at him, or Arsenal fans probably forgave him after the first game or something.
He's still a legend. No, I don't think anybody takes it bad for him.
Did he play football in prison or any other player?
I'm glad that you're asking about it. Another big player, George Best.
George Best.
He was also sentenced for prison in 1984 for drunk driving. And he created or was part of a big prison team. Okay. It was called Ford Open Prison Team, very original. And probably he was their midfield player, striker. I don't
know. 84. That must have been the end of his career. So probably he was like playing in the USA and coming back to Europe.
So you're trying to say that Ford Open prison team sounds still better than New York Yankees?
I don't know. I mean, I was wondering if Ford was sponsoring this prison team.
How come Ford has a name in a prison team? Maybe it was like Ford County?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I was wondering if Ford, the car manufacturer.
I'm rather afraid thinking who are the other team members. I mean, the goalkeeper is the guy who's catching all of the soaps under the shower?
No, yeah, that's one more thing to talk about. But imagine him with his talent, because he was like one of the best players ever, playing in a prison team. Like, what did he feel like? What did he think about the others?
Don't drink and drive. Play football drunk, but don't enter the car.
Yeah.
That's one of the crimes. I think we should stop it here because we have many nice smoothie examples.
Yeah.
We will switch the continent a bit further from Europe, going to Latin America. Latin America has a lot of examples there. My favorite story involves Bruno Fernandez, a Brazilian football player. He got only a 22-year prison sentence, which is not so much considering the fact what he did. He wanted to talk with his ex-girlfriend, I think not the ex-wife. He was under the impression that the child they have together is not his son, so he wanted to run some DNA tests in a hotel room, because obviously this is the best place to ask for a DNA test.
Was the kid blonde by any chance? With blue eyes? Because in that case, he had a good point, like suspecting that.
I don't want to give any details. I think Brazil is like a part of the world where different hair color and eye color can happen.
Yeah.
But he had some reason. He had some doubts. So he asked his personal doctor. It was actually a doctor gang who went and waited in the hotel room for the ex-wife, where they, let me express it directly, beat the shit out of the girl, tortured her, and at the end cut her to pieces and feed the dogs with her. I'm not sure if she passed the DNA test for the son. I think the child survived, but the wife probably had a deeper.
Okay, so at the end we don't know whose child is it.
We still don't know. We still don't know.
Do you think Bruno Fernandez by that time had seen the movie Hannibal?
He should have,
because in that case he would have used like wild boars or pigs.
It's a stupid thing to give body to dogs.
Yeah.
Obviously they're gonna like eat parts of it only, leaving
you
some
need
bones.
many dogs for.
No. It's some chemicals.
Yeah.
Wild boars.
Yeah. I would go with wild boars, but I would never do a crime. So it's just like very theoretical.
Where can I get access to wild boars here?
I don't know, in the woods.
Okay.
But I don't know if they are like hungry enough. So you need to catch them and starve them.
They have to be really hungry, no, to eat like a human body.
Yeah, you need to starve them.
So we need to transport them here.
Yeah,
keep them for a few
days. It's complicated, really. I mean,
okay, we talk about it later.
Yeah, just make peace with your wife and don't cut her into pieces.
I'm just thinking, Peter.
Yeah, okay. If I say a name, Rene Higuita, probably, the scorpion kick, the first thing which comes to your mind. No, the famous scorpion kick against England.
It's the scorpion kick he did. I mean, also his haircut, I love very much,
and the mustache,
and the free kicks he was freakingly good kicking in.
Yeah. He scored 55 goals in his career, which is not as many as Chilavert, who's the king of the goalkeepers. But I mean, 55 is not bad from a goalkeeper.
That's pretty decent. Yeah, that's like better than some strikers.
Yeah, so in 93 he was involved in a kidnapping. He was the go-between between the drug baron Pablo Escobar and Carlos Molina, whose daughter was kidnapped. He just took the money from one point to another.
He wanted to transport the money. He was the transporter before the movie was even cool.
So we can suppose that he actually wanted to help the father. His only crime was that he didn't report this to the police. And
he just wanted to be a nice guy, delivering the money. It's like a pizza delivery man. Like, hey, here's a pizza.
Yeah. That was a daughter instead.
How much did he got? I missed the information.
No, well, he didn't go to he went to prison, and that's why he had to miss the 94 World Cup, which was the last tournament of the golden generation of Colombia, with him, Asprilla, Valderrama, and another player which we're gonna jump to.
If we're talking about 94, that's another good classic. So we are jumping from Higuita to the player Escobar.
Yeah.
He was also a very decent defender in 94, and unfortunately in the game against the United States he had the bad luck to shoot an own goal against the United States. He was shot, I think, 12 times by some random people. I mean, everybody knows it's the Colombian cartel from Escobar who did it. They had some big interest in doing it. Obviously, they paid some money, with some black money involved, some bet on Colombia to win against the United States, which didn't happen. Colombia lost 2-1, so they blamed him. Harsh. Are you a betting person, Peter? What would you consider?
I do bet, but I wouldn't shoot a player. I mean, even if we talk seriously or joke, that's not right. I mean, shooting somebody. I mean, if you shoot a player after every single own goal, I mean, you need to have
we wouldn't have players.
Squad of like 40.
They actually catch the guy who was responsible for the shooting, but I think for good behavior he had like a really silly sentence, like a few months home arrest after the sentence, and he walked free. So I think the long arms of Pablo Escobar, by the way, the player Escobar is not related in any way to the famous Pablo. So anyway, the guy who shot Escobar also got a ridiculous sentence. I mean, original sentence was like 1 trillion years whatsoever. Okay. At the end, I think he really finished like 2-3 years, so I think his family was living pretty wealthy after.
Okay. Do you think he had the same lawyer as Tony Adams, or lawyers don't travel that distance?
Maybe. I'm not sure if he got like, I don't know, 4 years, but could be.
Yeah, okay.
Could be.
We are still staying on the continent, right? Biodome Moreno, referee, so he's...
Famous name. I remember you have a good memory with him. In the World Cup he was refereeing.
Yeah, he's partially ruined my childhood.
It was one of the few moments Peter was actually crying in his life. Because of which game?
Yeah, Italy, South Korea, famous game.
And you have been a big supporter of Italy.
Yeah.
And he was kind of smashing the game for your players.
Yeah, he had a slight influence on the game, but he paid his debt when he was caught in New York airport trying to smuggle 6 kilograms of cocaine. So there you go, Moreno.
6 kilograms.
Yeah,
that's personal usage.
What goes
in
around
New York
comes around.
It's like a New York weekend.
Yeah.
Adam Johnson,
probably the latest and the biggest name. Shall we call it like pedophilia? Is that the official term?
Well, he had officially he's described as a pedophile.
Okay, sexual relations with a 16 years old girl, young. Anyway, under 18 for sure.
his defense, only in a car.
Yeah, and twice. Probably more, but we don't know that.
He wasn't watching what she was doing.
Yeah. It doesn't make it any better that after he was arrested there was some animal porn found in his laptop. I don't know what his that time pregnant wife thinks about this business. I don't think they're gonna get together when he's out.
No, she's already having if you can gossiping around now, she's already having a new football player as a boyfriend, and he was already sentenced also for many years in prison. He left the prison, so I think she has one type of guys as boyfriends. So I'm not sure.
Blame her?
I'm not sure. You have chances, but I really kicked the table today very hardly.
Okay.
I'm gonna call her after.
Okay. So 50-50.
50-50.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We are kidding. Pedophilia is not cool.
It's bad. Don't do it.
Right.
Call Peter instead. He's much easier to get.
Only if you are girls.
Nice.
Shall we finish off with like 2, let's say, light, not even crimes?
Wait. I have one more I really have to mention.
Okay.
It was from the Iranian league, and I really love the story. The guy is a goalkeeper, and the team, of course, what could be a team name in Iran? Persepolis. His name was Sasha Makani. What was his crime? He was making some pictures, selfies, giving the lovely phone to some other people, asking to make a picture, posing with 2 ladies with big luggage.
2 sisters, no?
That was his defense line. I think one of them was definitely his fiancée. One of them, his defense line was one of the girls is his fiancée. One of them is his sister. This Iranian state accused him of indecent, of propagating prostitution, because he put those pictures in some kind of local Instagram. So I don't know what the Iranian local Instagram could be. Some
I would love to see it.
Or something.
Are they that nice?
I don't think this was his sister.
Maybe a distant cousin?
I don't think
a very distant? No.
I never saw a family member who's bending with her better part in front of you, so family friendly. Anyway, one more item about Sasha. I'm not sure I spelled his name rightly, but his defense line was that his account was hacked, and somebody placed those pictures, which are real, without his knowledge. So the Iranian police is investigating if the hack really happened. Not guilty. If it happened,
I don't know. I respect him that he didn't say it didn't happen. His defense line was that the account was hacked.
yes.
And respect for the man.
Well, yeah. Be careful. Don't be indecent in those days. I mean, keep your
In Iran.
keep your naked selfies like on your own phone. Don't like put them anywhere.
Or go to a country where you can do these things.
Yes. At least Saudi Arabia, but not Iran.
Yeah. Okay, so two
Two final ones. Yeah, I like those guys.
Yeah, okay. They're gonna come back later on the show many times.
They have big balls, so we have to talk about them more and more.
One is bigger than the other. Eric Cantona, the famous kung fu kick against Crystal Palace.
Lovely moments.
So
many years passed already.
Yeah. I want to ask the guy who was kicked by him what he feels. Like today when he looks back, and probably the video has I don't know how many views on YouTube.
Everybody knows his face, nobody knows his name, no?
I don't know.
Well, let's explain the story a little bit. So Cantona gets sent off in a game, English league game.
Yep.
In the 49th minute, he gets sent off. He's walking down the pitch, and suddenly there's like a football fan coming down the stands, and he's like totally not supporting regarding Cantona. He's saying what he thinks about Cantona. He's saying what Cantona's mother is doing, and in her free time, he's saying what Cantona's mother is doing out of the church. He's saying lots of bad stuff.
Yeah.
Eric Cantona is looking at him very smoothly. I love the way how he was like holding his shirt, very gentleman French style. He's kicking in the fan, beating the shit out of him till actually the security guys are able to like separate those guys. So
I mean, it wasn't a simple kick. He kicked with 2 feet, so he was flying
it was
in the air.
Full package.
Beautiful.
Full package.
Yeah. So I don't think the guy is mad because it made him famous.
He also got some money for
probably
that, no?
he recovered. He got some money. So
for that amount of money, I would like to get even kicked worse from
I
Eric.
mean, no wonder Cantona called that moment a great feeling, and I can't blame him.
I wouldn't blame him. I'm on my way to work. I want to kick 10 people.
Yeah.
On the way to work.
Yeah.
He is the one who had the balls to do it.
Well, he did it. So okay, the last one, Vinnie Jones.
Classic.
Probably he became famous more for his like movies.
That's actually the part we should like make a questionnaire. Like, who knows Vinnie Jones as a player? Who knows Vinnie Jones as an actor?
Yeah, I mean, probably he was known as the part of the crazy Wimbledon gang who won the FA Cup. Did they win it or second place?
I think they won it, but it's not
we should know it, but
sure.
we are not an encyclopedia.
I'm just following Vinnie Jones on IMDb lately.
Yeah, so probably, I mean, British football lovers knew him even before he became an actor, but most people know him as an actor.
Snatch with Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
Oh, he was good, man.
Yeah. Some other movies, like many.
But tell me what he did, because Vinnie Jones is a badass.
Looks like for no reason he banged on his neighbor's door, and then I wouldn't say bang the guy because that's probably his wife, but just beat the guy up, kick the shit out of him for no reason.
Maybe he was banging on the door because he wanted to bang his wife.
That's what I mean. Must be a connection there.
There has to be. I mean, there was too much banging for it to be coincidence over there.
So he was sentenced to 100 hours community service. I mean, imagine Vinnie Jones going to, let's say, a school, giving a lesson to kids like about anything, like not using drugs, don't drink. I mean, I want to be that kid looking at Vinnie Jones with his like.
But what if he got sentenced 100 hours of community service to clean the streets? Would you dare eat a Snickers, throw the package of the Snickers in front of him and tell Vinnie Jones, do your job? We try to give an overview over the possible crimes in the football world. It's just a little sneak peek.
Actually, there could be like a separate podcast series about footballers and crime and murder and this kind of shit. But hopefully we're going to leave this topic behind. We're going to come back with the match fixing.
Well, the other option is we're going to make a podcast like called Bloody Football.
Bloody Football, okay.
Could be a solution.
Keep it for the future,
Yeah, maybe. But it's giving an overview of what is happening in the football world. It's worth to follow football not only for the results, but also for the drama.
I mean, that was enough of drama.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Last question. Did you ever have any personal drama playing a football game, like Sunday football with the friends? Did you kick somebody? Did you have some tough scenes and like blood leaking from eyes and...
Well, no, apart from the like usual injuries, no.
Peter's the gentleman in playing.
Yeah.
I think I'm the Vinnie Jones, you're like the Adam Johnson, I guess.
I hope not.
Okay, thank you. That was all for today's 90 minutes.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back to, hopefully the next time we're coming with
a nicer topic.
Charities of David Beckham.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Catch you later.
It's all got wildly out of hand, and once more, Eric Cantona is the man at the centre of a dramatic controversy.
Oi, buddy, I have a question.
We went today to the streets to ask a simple question, and our question was, if you would have to sustain yourself from illegal activities, what way would you choose? Peter, what are your impressions from the people we have met today?
Creepy.
I don't know, man.
You can also name something you're currently doing which is illegal. Nobody is gonna know your name.
No, I don't do anything illegal. Okay. No.
I would definitely then distribute drugs, I think. I mean, nobody thinks that I can distribute drugs because I'm like, drugs. Distribute drugs.
Could be illegal, distributing drugs on the black market.
So
drugs or drugs?
Drugs.
Oh, well, I'm already doing it, but in a more romantic way. I guess I would sell weed to foreign exchange Erasmus students and, yeah, get rich from their parents' money.
Okay, I would probably open a bar with some nice games, poker with girls,
Illegal
stuff like
poker.
this. Illegal poker, not illegal poker.
Strip
It's
poker.
legal. No strip poker, normal poker, Texas Hold'em poker.
It doesn't sound illegal. What is illegal about it?
It's not illegal. Poker is not illegal, but the girls and the drugs and the alcohol and something like this is illegal, you know.
Good luck.
Thanks.
And now, extra time.
Additional time. We are
Yeah.
stepping down, we are putting some nice classical music, and we are talking about Nick Hornby's Fever Pitch. You are a big Nick Hornby fan, aren't you?
I am, yeah. Actually, I have most of his books, but this was the most influential, the first I ever read, and the first he's ever written in '92. So I love it. I mean, I guess there are some people who doesn't know the book. They should read it, but it's strongly recommended, right, to everyone, even
For every football fan, every Arsenal fan.
and even non-football lover.
Big shortcut of the story.
Yeah, it's nearly like an autobiography about
little,
himself
yes.
and football.
Since he started to be an Arsenal fan in the 70s, if I remember well.
Yeah, the end of '60s, the
The
beginning
time
of
when
70s.
Arsenal was not the big thing they are now,
Yeah.
so it wasn't a pleasure to watch Arsenal play back in the days. 0-0, most of the results, sometimes like lucky goal
1-0.
for 1-0. So still he managed to fall in love with the club, stay with the club as a big true supporter for many years. And
Yeah.
now the times changed. Arsenal is a bigger club, so I believe he's very happy now with the recent development. There is also a movie about it.
Yeah, with Colin Firth, and there is also, that's the British version, and there is an American version which we couldn't bother to see because it's about baseball, right?
It's a complete rip-off
Yeah.
of the British version. The
Okay.
same story, exactly the same story, but the football team is changed for a baseball shirt. Boston Blue
Red
Sox
Sox.
or Red Panties, something local. We are talking about the original version,
Yeah.
the football one, where they're talking about proper sports.
Yeah, quite enjoyable, right? With Colin Firth. I mean,
It's a good movie. It's sometimes a little bit too Hollywoody for me, I think.
yeah. I mean, you can't compare it to the book. The book is way
The book
better,
is-
obviously.
Yes.
But I think it's not even easy to make a film out of this book. I mean, it's easy to read it. It's enjoyable to read it, but to make a interesting movie about it, out of it, it's challenging. So they did a good job, I think.
So there's a movie, there is
Yeah.
a book, there is a big Hornby fan next to me. I'm gonna throw some quotes from the book for you.
Okay.
There must be many fathers around the country who have experienced the cruelest, most crushing rejection of all. Their children have ended up supporting the wrong team. Peter is a big Lazio Rome fan. How would you feel if your child would support AS Roma?
That can't be an option. I mean, you watch a game. Imagine you watch a game with your son. He obviously starts to support the same team as you do. I mean, you keep telling him that, oh yeah, they are better, they are the one to support. So, I mean, I don't want to convince him, but
I also see this as a big propaganda. So
Yeah.
I'm around my child, my future child, since he's born. the moment he's able to watch TV, I'm gonna put this PR propaganda on his head and scream like, Dortmund, hate Bayern.
I mean, either he has to be like a big shot, the kid, so strong will to, I don't know, comfort me.
It's not the parenthood, it's definitely something wrong with the child.
Yeah.
For their defense, I was convincing my wife for a very long time to call our future unborn son Lewandowski.
As a first name?
Yes, as a first name.
Is that a first name, Lewandowski?
No, it's not. It's not. But
it doesn't matter.
Anyway, it's outdated now. Now he's playing in Bayern, so it would be very strange to have him calling my son and have this.
Let's hope he goes back to Dortmund to finish his career off. No?
Hopefully, then I can have a valid point for my wife to call my son Lewandowski.
Would you accept him back?
Yes.
Would the Dortmund fans do?
Yeah, definitely.
They would. Yeah.
They would.
Okay.
We accepted Götze. We're gonna accept Lewandowski for sure.
But back to the book. I mean, there are so many things why you read the book, and you realize that it's about you. You never thought of this before, but when you read it, you are like, oh, that's me.
I had the same feelings. I was reading the book. I was like, oh my god, he's entering my head. He's like feeling like I'm feeling most of the time.
Yeah, I think that's why it became so popular between football fans mostly.
It's explaining very good
in
football
general
fans craziness about football.
Us.
Another scene I really loved in the book was when he was writing that he went to watch a game with his girlfriend, and he could not pay attention to her. He was really so possessed by the game that he could not watch his girlfriend being pushed by the crowd, and I think she lost consciousness, the girlfriend. He wasn't able to give her a helping hand, and then he started to wonder what would happen if she would be pregnant and start giving birth, if he would be able to leave the game and go to the hospital with the wife.
Well, let's make it clear that this happened during a Cambridge game in either the 3rd or 4th division. So
it's not even Arsenal we're talking about.
It's not even Arsenal, like, I don't know, cup final or something. It was like a 3rd or 4th division Cambridge game, which he couldn't bother to take care of her girlfriend. You don't need to say it, I don't need to say it, but what would you do in the same situation? Like, your girlfriend faints during a game, you're like winning against Wolfsburg 4-0. Did it happen? I'm right so far, right?
We have been on a game against Wolfsburg where the score was 4-0. My wife was not pregnant back then. It's a difficult situation because we are recording this and my wife might listen to it after. So I cannot be completely true with you. I don't know. I'm really lost.
It's very difficult.
It's very difficult.
Even to think about the situation like that.
I want to be a good husband, but on the other hand, I don't want to lie.
But like, one thing leads to another. Like, your son is due to born on a, I don't know, Dortmund Bayern Cup final game, or like Dortmund Man United Champions League final.
My best friend had his wedding during the Super Cup. Borussia was playing against Bayern. I was not very happy about the time he chose for his wedding. I had to hide secretly in my room during his wedding to watch the game.
Okay.
And I was not very happy that I could just see parts of it, but I was watching it secretly in my room, closed, alone.
But that shows how lucky we are. I mean, Hornby, let's say like 30 years ago, or any football fan, they had to either listen to the radio or no game. Today we can stream the game on the phone, we can still watch it, not the whole thing, but at least we have some.
You have the knowledge, He was telling that back in the day you could only listen to it in the radio. There were maybe English games have been shown sometimes from time to time, and a cup final, like Champions League final.
But mostly highlights the day after, or even later on. So. But like, back to the radio, I loved it when I was a kid to listen to a game, because it made it more exciting. That's the thing he doesn't like about it, that he says that every single shot or throw-in seems like
a very dangerous position. So the opponent players are 30-40 yards from the goal, and it sounds on the radio like they will be having a penalty.
That's why I like it. I mean, even a shitty game sounds like a good one. So I think it's more enjoyable if you listen to a game which you have no relation to. So like a neutral game.
I remember back in the day I was playing personally as a child football, and we have been also listening to the final games in the Polish league. Like I was playing Widzew, really like games for the title, and it was incredible to listen on it on the radio. Now, mobile, streaming, TV. You pass a bar, there are 15 sport channels, so we are really advancing very, very quickly.
Today is definitely not the time Hornby was writing about. Shall we touch, for example, now I just love his observations, like the football fans calendar, like how are we counting time? Are you counting from like 1st of January till 21st of December, or from, let's say, 20th of August until 30th of May?
I remember the years by 16/17.
Yeah,
it was a good year.
So he was right again. Like, we are really thinking about seasons, and
I hate the summer. I don't like the sun. I like beaches and swimming, but I hate the summer because there is no football. I'm so bored on the weekends. There's nothing to wait for. Not that my life is bad or anything, but still, there's this little tiny cherry on the top of the cake missing.
Well, shall we finish off with his idea about death? Well, let me quote him, because I can't put it into better words than he did. So he says that, I want to float around Highbury as a ghost, watching reserve game for the rest of my life.
That's a good way to die.
Afterlife, put it away. I mean,
that's a good way to
obviously
die.
It's not Highbury anymore, because Highbury became like a real estate park or something.
I'm not sure I should tell this now in front of the microphone, but I went to Highbury because now it's like you said, it's like apartments.
Yeah.
So people could buy a flat there.
Yeah.
The pitch is a garden.
Mm-hmm.
And I was proudly peeing on Highbury.
Wow. So you left your mark after all.
It's gonna stay there forever.
Okay.
It was a good moment. It was like Bergkamp, Overmars have been running there, and suddenly a Polish Wojtek is peeing in the bushes.
I'm not sure Arsenal fans are happy about that, but probably they did the same, right? Like,
for my defense, the Arsenal fans have been also peeing there. I just took their example. I thought it's some kind of special sharing moment.
It's not a holy place even for them.
Well, maybe now it is after some Borussia support, I would say.
Would you also like to float around in like Dortmund?
I would love that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure my family will allow me, but I would love to be spread all over the Südtribüne. They cannot influence it, true.
So no normal burial, bones and anything, just ashes around.
The dream is the final game of the season. We are hosting Bayern Munich. There's a helicopter flying over the stadium. They throw my ashes down. Bayern is taking a penalty to equalize for 1-1 in the 90th minute. I'm flowing into somebody's eye who's taking the penalty. I blind them. They don't take the shot. Borussia is winning, and the Bayern players are crying my ashes out to the ground, and I'm staying there forever. That's the dream, but we'll have to fight for it a little bit longer.
Okay. Well, that's the thing with the book. I mean, we can't cut it shortly.
Finishing, Nick Hornby with one final quote. I will watch any football match, anytime, any place, in any weather conditions.
I can top that. Beautiful.
That's nothing I can add to it. He's writing what we are thinking.
Yeah, read the book, guys.
Nick Hornby, watch the movie, read the book. If you're an Arsenal fan, if you're a football fan, watch the movie, read the book. It's great.
Fever pitch.
Fever pitch. Thank you.
You looking forward to it?
What?
The match?
Yeah.
Sounds like it.